Are you serious? Are you serious? Okay, guys, we just got breaking news coming out of Russia. Russia and India has just signed a $500 million deal to build 4 frigates construction and a Navy transfer. This is a huge, huge development because Russia is continuing to make inroads and to make connections with some of the very nations that America has had close alliances with. And these are people that we should be selling these aircraft carriers and different naval ships to. Matter of fact, Moscow and New Delhi sealed a deal. 4 Russian guided missile frigates for the Indian Navy. Now, the 2 warships will be built in Russia, and then 2 more will be constructed over in the shipyards in India. This major deal consists of 2 separate contracts, with one signed on Tuesday, that's today, and another one was had been concluded last month. So Russia's media is now reporting on both deals. In total, India will get 4 Admiral-class frigates. The ships are designed to strike all types of enemy vessels, as well as submarines. They are equipped with the newest Russian 3M54 caliber cruise missiles, which saw action hitting militant targets in Syria, and may host also some attack helicopters. So it's not an aircraft carrier. If I said that, I didn't mean to. But it is a missile-guided frigates, cruise missiles on it. Also, the chairman and managing director of the Goa shipyard said that the contract for the 2 ships constructed is worth $500 million, and the vessels will be ready in 2026 and 2027. Now, I know that's out there. We're talking 7 to 8 years, but still, it's because you just don't build a ship overnight. But still, the whole deal is for these 2 frigates built in Russia will be about $2.2 billion. Okay, so the 2 nations have enjoyed strong military ties together since the Soviet. And for India, it makes sense. They got a relationship with America. They also have one when it comes to oil with China. And now they got a deal. It's going to be an 8-year deal that they're working with the Russians. So they basically are making sure that they're friends with all the major superpowers. That's good diplomacy. You got to give the Indian nation of India a lot of credit. Now, meanwhile, though, Russia is not just sitting by idly. They're cutting deals everywhere. They cut a big deal with Egypt a couple years ago. They've just signed a huge deal with the Iranians. They signed a gigantic deal with the Chinese. Now they got this big deal with India. And oh, by the way, they're sitting in Syria, and they brought the Iranians along with them. And we just got information this morning. I've had a conversation even with someone that's knowledgeable in this area, and it's just released on Debka File that Lebanon is asking Russia, hey, would you mind watching over our airspace? We need some protection. Would you watch over our airspace for us? Now, that would be a whole new shift of policy. Russia's watching over Syria, and that's why they've lately told Israel, don't be flying in here trying to shoot at Iranian targets or Syrian targets anymore. That's why they brought in the S-300 missile defense system. Now, one of the folks I talked to said, hey, actually, from Damascus, they can look after Lebanon airspace. They don't have to move any equipment around. They can do it from where they're already sitting in Damascus. But they haven't publicly said that's what they're doing. But they obviously could. And maybe they are without publicly acknowledging that, because that would be a shift in foreign policy with the United States, especially when you consider that Hezbollah is considered a terrorist organization. So, here we go. We've heard Stephen Ben-Noon talk about how Defense Minister Lieberman wanted to go in on the ground. He wanted to roll in the tanks to take out Gaza, to take out Hamas in Gaza, and then information that Stephen Ben-Noon was saying from his contacts, that then they want to just keep on going. Go get Hezbollah in southern Lebanon and then take care of Iran and Syria. Now, I don't know how realistic that aggressive military operation, how realistic that was, but I know that Lieberman was very upset. He wanted to go in and get Hamas. So with all these things going on, we have to just continue to watch and see what's taking place in the Middle East. It's very intense right now, and so we're going to watch it very close. This is, again, big news as Russia continues to maneuver and make their way around, and that's very, very interesting. I'll be back with more current world events and how they relate to biblical prophecy. The Middle East is intense.